It has only been 3 weeks since Mario Maker 2 was released, and so many crazy glitches have been found, so I'm going to cover the 25 coolest glitches in Mario Maker 2 in under 8 minutes. If you know of any cool glitches that I left out, definitely let me know in the comments. So let's begin. This first glitch finds Luigi in an unsure position where it doesn't look like he can make it any further. He needs to get to that door, but the semi-solid's in the way, and there's a steep little slope right here, and a little bit of land, and a thwomp above with donuts. So what does he do? Well, this takes advantage of a strange glitch where if it's in this perfect position, you can stand right here underneath the donuts, and they will teleport you through the semi-solid. We see here that Mario is in a position that looks to be impossible. He can't do an upward jump, but then go left and twirl to the door. There's just not enough space. But this glitch takes advantage of the fact that you can actually wall jump off of the very, very bottom of a spike. This glitch is super precise, but if you throw a beetle at just the right spot in an upward slope that's above you, you can actually clip through the slope. I've gotten this to work on New Super Mario Bros. U and also Super Mario World. I tried for a long time getting it to work in the Mario 3 and I couldn't get it, so I can only assume it doesn't work for Mario 3. If you place the chain chomps in this specific way with these note blocks here, they'll float off in a very strange way. In a kind of similar way, if you hit a muncher upwards with a shelmet and a spring like this, and it goes forward, it will slide and just keep on sliding until something stops it. In 3D World, if you put two boom booms on top of each other, they start to spin into a tornado and fly up in the air in a very strange pattern. Now you're probably wondering, what if you do 3? Well, basically the two do their own tornado and then the third one does his own tornado. In this very strange glitch, if you pick up an item at the same exact frame that you go into a door, and then get hit at the first frame exiting the door, everything freezes, including Mario. You go through everything, but you can't move, and basically can't beat the level. In New Super Mario Bros. U, if you pick up a shell, and then run around, whatever, and then drop it right as it's waking up, it starts to fly off like crazy. When lava's rising and there's note blocks and one-ways in just this correct position, the Yoshis go flying upward. And in case you're wondering, they do come back down. Also, this does work for New Super Mario Bros. U. Using the on-off tracks in this position, you can make things basically disappear when they go into a curved track. In 3D World, Magic Koopa's magic turns the spikes into objects, although the spikes still stay there. The same goes for the yellow whenever magic is thrown at it. However, you can see here, when magic is thrown at a red with spikes, nothing happens. It has to turn off, then get hit with magic, and then you can switch on and off, and nothing happens, and you can just go right through anything. If you have any two blocks positioned diagonally like these, if you have the fire flower duck, jump, and spit at just the right time, your fireball will clip through the blocks. New Super Mario Bros. U seems to be the only one that this does not work on. If you fall off a track with a claw holding on to you and bump against the wall at just the right time, you won't die. You'll actually be below the screen, and you can actually save yourself. In New Super Mario Bros. U, you could just wall jump back up into safety. The only problem now is that the claws don't work. You can also do this in other Marios, however, if the wall is too high for you to jump, then you'll die when you land again. In New Super Mario Bros. U, if you jump into a one-way like this, it'll force you to duck and let go of your item. However, if you spin jump into the one-way, it'll actually have you into a crouch hold where you can jump around in a one-block gap while you're crouched and holding the item. Bowser does some really weird fast racing when he goes through slopes in a very tight area. This works in New Super Mario Bros. U and also Super Mario World, but does not work for the other two. When you trigger a sideways thwomp as he's approaching a note block, if there's a shell or other item in front of him, he will fly in an upward diagonal direction and keep going in that direction. And this works for all styles. Keep in mind, there must be an item in front of him, because if there's not, you'll see he just springs upward and then goes back to his normal position, except a little higher. If you have an invisible vine block directly above a door, hit the vine block and go in the door immediately. When you exit the door, you'll see that it's actually invisible, but you can jump on top of it. Here we see that if you hit two blocks at the same time and go into the door immediately, that both blocks will be invisible to be walked on. If you drop a POW into a piranha, it'll kill it. However, if you drop a POW against a wall into a piranha, it will not kill it. In a similar way, if you drop a POW on your head, it will not kill the piranhas and will bounce around also. There are a bunch of different items that you can hold that when they wake up, they will actually spawn in the upper left-hand corner of where you're holding them. In this case, the beetle works, but the Galumba does not. In Super Mario Bros. 3, the Koopa does work. However, in New Super Mario Bros. U, the Koopa does not work. Beetles and Spinies work in all versions. In this very strange glitch, if you get an item at the same frame as you go into a door, and then hit the flagpole, you'll actually be free to run around and do whatever you want. This lasts for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then the level ends. All of the things that could hurt you will not hurt you, and anything that won't hurt you is active. If you have a big Podobo in a cannon, and a block of any kind directly above and in front of the cannon, the Podobo will not hurt you. This works for red and black cannons and works in all versions. So there are a bunch of different ways to do this trick, but to do the trick shown here, you basically run and tap jump as soon as you hit the coin. You'll hop on the Koopa, then let go of the D-pad, don't press anything, and you will basically do this the entire way, all the way until you stop hitting something. If you have a seesaw and a semi-solid position like this with blocks just in this way, then as long as something is weighing down the right side of the seesaw, you can do a ground pound and go through the semi-solid. Note that this does not work if the blocks are not positioned right here. Also, this doesn't work if there's no P-switch or item to hold it down. Normally, in Mario World, your helicopter move can bring you up this high. However, if you do the dive bomb and hold jump and then spin at the same time as hitting the bumper, it'll rocket you upwards at almost double the height. This is a very specific glitch, but if you have vines positioned here, and then a cannon or a red block positioned here, and then a one-way positioned here, and a ceiling slope positioned like this, if you are small Mario and climbing a vine, as long as you are climbing and holding up when this mushroom hits you, you'll clip through the one-way and be able to go below. And this works for all versions. This route shows a very precarious position, like how in the world would Luigi make it from this thwomp all the way through these spikes? Well, it turns out if you put the exclamation block into a certain pattern and run onto the thwomp and run off at a certain speed, you will launch forward at a crazy speed at a crazy angle. And this is what happens.